Welcome back, nieces and nephews, to JEWAP, which stands for Just Everything with Auntie Pookie podcast. I'm your host, Sydney, or as many know me as Auntie Pookie. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for joining this great podcast. And if you are returning, thank you for your support. On today's episode, it is the segment I call Ask Auntie Pookie Anything, which means you can ask me any question and I will answer it. If you would like to be on the podcast, we can set up a time for us to have a discussion, or whichever you like. So today is just a person asking me to answer 10 random questions that they want to know. The first question is, if I had 3 wishes, what would I wish for? This is kind of a hard question because I would want the world just to be a better place. And for things to be, less evil, and people could heal from sickness, and there wouldn't be big pharmacies that rather create an extra problem with you taking their medication than curing your illness. And people would actually love people, and there wouldn't be racism. There wouldn't be people without food or water, clean water at that. People would have jobs and they'd be able to take care of their families. There wouldn't be homelessness. It's a big, broad thing I would want with the world. Like, it would be so many things inside that one wish. I guess my next wish would probably be for people to just help one another. I guess it still kind of ties into making the world better, but it's kind of like, when you know something that somebody may not, and it's just so much easier to share information instead of just, I'm keeping this to myself because I don't want them to come up in the world. I wish that people would just help people become successful instead of making them, feel just stupid. And just making people feel like, what I know, you'll never know kind of thing. It's like when I know certain information, I want people to come up. So it's like, I will support you. I will share your posts on social media for people to buy your product or whatever, because I feel like, there's enough money around the world to make. And even if a person doesn't become the number one seller in the world, your sharing is showing new eyes. Even, for example, with my podcast, there's a few people that share it, and then there's people who are like, I support you, but don't even share it and don't even listen, and it's just, it is what it is. And I look at it as, I do my best with my podcast, and I have so many things that I want to do with it, and it'll eventually happen, in the right time. I guess my last wish would be just, I would want all of the food to be actually healthy. No preservatives, no anything that's illegal in other countries. Just all the food would be nice and healthy for everyone. And then, again, there wouldn't have to be medication and whatnot. People can literally have healthy, clean bodies. And you never know, you might live until 200 years old or something, because you're actually eating clean and there's not one particular thing in the food that's actually killing you. And even though my second wish kind of ties into my first, I guess too, I would say if those wishes were combined, I would also have I'd wish the government wouldn't lie to us and make agendas different for what is really going on, instead of lying, they just are upfront hey, this is what's going on. We need to do this as a country or a world, whatever, and we could really just prepare for anything and just make the world better so that we don't have to deal with particular things. This is a tough one, kind of. It says, what would you rather throw away, love or money? Just thinking of the conversations I've had in Bible study about how money is man-made, I feel like if there wasn't any money, people would genuinely respect everybody because they would have to work for the things they have, literally work, hey, I got these 2 horses, I'll do this to, I don't know, get 100 loaves of bread or something. It'd actually be even work, not, oh, because you clean toilets, I'm better than you because I work from home kind of thing, So I think money would be cool to throw away just so that people people can really be real and not stuck up because of a piece of paper. Money is literally the root of all evil, and people, just from personal experience, real quick to rant, but I love to travel, right? And because I love to travel so much, I planned accordingly. I am a planner. Anyone could tell you when I'm planning a vacation, I am down to the T of how much everything costs and all that. Like I have not necessarily an itinerary, but like I look up flights for people. I do all kinds of stuff. And it grinds my gears when the time comes to go on the trip and people like start backing out, right? It is what it is, because some people can't handle their money correctly, but they start backing out. And then they get mad that you go on the vacation and they didn't go. And it's like, I literally planned this for 8 to 9 months. Sometimes I've planned trips a year in advance, and people still are complaining that they didn't get to go on the trip and must be nice. And that really grinds my gears, because I'm like, you know what? Am I the richest person in the world? No. But when I want something, I work hard for it. And I keep pushing, and I save the money, and I do what I need to do so that I can enjoy my trip and not feel like I'm coming home broke or I owe any bills while I'm working. I'm on vacation. I literally pay all my bills for 2 months in advance. And that may be hard for some people, yes. So I'm not like bragging about that, but this is just a thing I do. I just make sure all my bills are paid. So when I get paid, let's say I get paid while we're on vacation, like I have money and I'm good to go. I have additional money to the funds I've already saved. So it's just something that, it is what it is. The next question is, what's the most beautiful place you've ever seen? I've been to a few really pretty beautiful places. I went to Costa Rica, and that was so beautiful. The vibe was so amazing. And I had a great time. It was cool to be on this small boat, average. And we got to see a mama whale and a baby whale. And it was time for the baby whale to learn how to swim really good. So that was really amazing to see. And that was like really an awesome place to be. I would have to say too, the Bahamas is really beautiful. The water was crystal clear, so you could see anything coming if there was something coming. So that was like super amazing. Let's see. I went to England recently, and that was phenomenal. Just to be there, I wouldn't even say like it's super beautiful. I was just in awe to be in a different place, especially where my dad and my stepmom are from, and my grandma. So that was really cool to see. This is kind of crazy, but I'm not gonna say crazy, but I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the boo, and we got to actually go to the revival that Mike Todd has every year at his church, and that was one of the most beautiful places to see everybody praising God. And I'm really just honored that I got the opportunity and to just feel the presence of God and the healing that I got from that revival. It was lit. We couldn't go this year because I'm having the baby, so we're gonna wait probably till next year, and then when he's older, he can either go with us or have somebody babysit. But it was so phenomenal. Like, that was a beautiful place to be at. The next question here is, what is your fondest memory of high school? My fondest memory was leaving high school. Reason being is because, like, I had, like, good memories with people in high school. Like, there was a lot of really cool people in high school. Like, I was in this dance group called Dance Troupe, and that was lit. Like, and I love the people I danced with in high school, and I'm still really cool with some of them today. It's just, the vibe for me with a lot of people at the high school, it just wasn't for me. Like, I wasn't clicked up, and then there wasn't things I was doing. One of the things that really bothered me in high school was when I hung out with a group of these people, and I remember some of their names, but I ain't gonna put them on blast. But we went to this girl's house, and like they locked me in the room with this boy, and they were trying to make us like have sex with each other. And because he was like this cutest boy to all the girls or whatever, and for me, I'm just like, I don't get all hyped up with people. Like, I'm very different, you know. You can be so cute and sexy or whatever, but you're just terrible personality wise, and you're not humble or nothing. So for me, it's like, yeah, looks are a plus, but like, it's who you are on the inside, you know what I'm saying? And that's just real facts of life. But because I wouldn't do nothing with him, like, I ended up not hanging out with them anymore after that, you know. And then I even had friends who stole from me in high school. Like, you know, I was done with high school. I was so ready to be done. And the friends I had outside of my high school were just better. You know, my best friend and I didn't go to the same high school, but like, it was just better for us. And our relationship, of course, wasn't perfect in high school. We didn't get to see each other as much as we wanted to because she had moved, but it was like, I enjoyed hanging out with people outside of high school. And my brother, I hung out with him a lot. And he had older friends and stuff because my brother is 6 years older than me. And I hung out with them all the time, you know, and I was just treated as a little sister, but I liked kicking it with them because it wasn't as childish and stupid. Says here, what's your favorite TV show? I like a lot of shows, honestly. Sometimes I like my occasional Ratchet TV on Zeus Network. I feel like that network is off the chain. And when I just want to watch something that's just like, I watch a Zeus Network. I really like, it's not a TV show, but I really like ID, which is Investigation Discovery. I love that station, like, or that network. I'm always watching that because I just love, I don't know, I love murder shows and mysteries and stuff like that. I really like that. The next question is, what's the strangest thing in your refrigerator? I don't even know. Like, maybe my dog's chew toy, because it's rubber and she's teething. She's a baby. So that might be the strangest thing. Would you rather hear the music of a person who plays jazz or a heavy metal band? As you know, interesting it sounds, I really like a lot of music. I really don't discriminate. Like, if it's a good beat and the lyrics are good, then I'm in there. But like, if it's, for example, mumble rapping, if I can't really understand what you're saying, I'm good. Like, I don't need to hear it because it's not good for my ears anyways. Have I ever been to a 5-star resort? Yes, I have, in Costa Rica. These are some interesting questions. Now, this is hilarious. What was my favorite toy growing up? I swear somebody's asking me these questions that like probably knows me, but I have a baby doll. She's currently in my storage unit, but I've had this same baby doll since I was a kid, and I used to beat the hell out of my sister's friends with it and my brother's friends, and till this day, they still remember that baby doll. And my sister's like, I'm about to get your son a doll, and he's going to torture you with it like you did us. And it was just so funny because I'm like, that is hilarious. I literally, anybody who knows like me when I was growing up little, they know about the damn baby doll. All right, and number 10 is, what is the funniest way you've ever broken the law? Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm going to tell a few stories because it's hella funny. I had to be in middle school, and a friend that I was close with in middle school, she would always watch her neighbor's house like all the time. And so they ended up like leaving the house to her, and they had a minivan, so we would always like take it out riding. Mind you, I think she was the only one that had a license when we were younger. But I don't know how she had a license, just for the simple fact that we were in middle school. So she had a license or a permit. I think she had a driver's permit. And she would always drive their van to school. So eventually she started like picking us up and stuff. This is so funny. But so she started picking us up, and we would just be doing whatever. So I remember a few times we would like go around to the rich neighborhoods and just steal Christmas ornaments because they were so big, and it was just hilarious. And it was like, I don't know why we were doing this, but we would steal Christmas ornaments. And I remember we stole like this giant wreath. Like, it was so big. Because like you can fit like 5 people in the center of it. It was freaking hilarious. So we would do that. Then one time as I got older, a few of my friends and I, we did the same thing. Like, go to the rich neighborhoods, if they had ornaments on a tree, we would just take one ornament and then we would sign it and like just keep it. And I don't know who has it now, but oh my gosh, it was hilarious. And then, oh man, we've done some funny things. So in college, we played a trick on the dorm, and it was probably the dumbest trick ever. We could have got someone hurt, for real. And I don't know if it was breaking the law, but it was just straight stupidity. So an old friend of mine, we took baby oil and like put it all in the hallways, because the hallways were like the like laminate kind of floors or whatever. So you was gonna slip. So we this is the dumbest thing. We eventually, put all the baby oil all over the floors, like all the floors. And we put it in front of our doors too, so that we wouldn't get in trouble. Or they wouldn't catch us doing it. But we were kind of the knuckleheads of the school anyway, so we were just having a good old time. And we saran wrap people's doors so they couldn't open the door, like if they had to leave in the morning. So freaking hilarious. Like, so I remember we got up and we like you just hear all this like noise, like people are screaming and people are just pissed. And so we freaking, oh my gosh. So we get up and we're like, what's going on? Just try to play like we didn't do nothing. And we're like, what the heck? Like, we're going off trying to like be in tune with everybody else. It was so funny. Like, and they were pissed. Like, people were so freaking pissed. And then there was a sign on the door like, until someone comes forward, you're not allowed to have guests. So it was probably like a Tuesday. So we're like, whatever. We'll just see if this stays up and, whatnot. And we get away with this. Yeah, no. They were going in. Like, I was a residential advisor at the time. So I was like, I don't care. Like, people could bring guests in, whatever. But like our manager was like, nah, no guests can come in. We ain't playing this. So we felt bad. So we were like, all right, we confess we did it. And so our manager, her name was Tammy. She was cool. She was real cool. Like, she was even there when my sister went to college there. And she was like, I knew y'all had something to do with this. Like, y'all are in trouble. And I don't remember if we had to do community service hours or what. I can't remember. But we ended up like getting in so much trouble. And it was just freaking crazy. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. So this is the like all top. I have stories for days, but this is like some of the funny college stories I had. So a good friend of mine who like we used to smoke all the time. This was over 10 years ago for those of you listening in. Okay, I don't do these things anymore, but anyway, so we got so high, like higher than giraffe ass. Okay, and my stoner friends know what that means. Okay, so we come back to the dorms and we're chilling in my room because her room was across the way. So like, we're just chilling. And the police end up coming to the dorm. So we're like, what the hell? Like, so somebody in our dorm on my floor was smoking weed in their room. And we had just got done like smoking weed in the car, like hotboxing, because that's just what we did. Just stupid as hell. And my homegirl's eyes were red as shit. Like, they were so freaking red. And it was so funny. So the police walked past the room with the dorm manager of the boys' dorms. He was pretty dope. His name was Orta. I'll never forget him. He was a really nice guy. And it was so funny. So they walk past and come back. And so we are high. We're so high. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, like I said, we're so high. We're so doty. It's funny. So they come back and they be like, hey, what's that we smell in here or something? And I'm probably not even saying the story right, but it was just so funny. So we're like, what's up? Like, we're chilling. And we couldn't even hide it because my homegirl's eyes were hella red. Like, her shit was so red. Like, you can tell. And when I smoked weed, I was just like really chill and mellowed out. I wasn't like paranoid. Like, sometimes like you get those moments, but I was not paranoid at all. And I was just chilling, and they were like, we smell weed in here. And I was like, well, there's not weed in here. And they're like, well, we're going to search this room. And they were like threatening us. My homegirl's like pissing in her pants because she's scared as fuck. And I'm literally just high as a kite, like just chilling, because I wasn't like necessarily afraid. I was just kicking it. And I was like, nah, man, like there's no weed in here. There's no weed in here. Like, you can search my room. They're like, well, we're going to get the dogs on you and da-da-da. So, so then like, I was like, dude, you can search the whole room. We literally smoked all the weed we had, so you're not going to find it. And my homegirl's looking at me like, why the hell did you say that? And I'm just like, whatever. So they kick us out of my room. They're like, you need to come out here right now. I said, okay. They're like, we're going to search your person. They're like, do you have anything on you? Mind you, I'd never been searched by the cops. But like, I guess like in that moment, thank goodness I was so high because I didn't care. So we get searched, and they search my whole room. They go through all my shit, like my fridge, my snacks, my clothes, pockets. Like they didn't care. They did everything. And so the guy comes out, and I was like, I told you we smoked it all, man. Like, we don't smoke in the dorms, we're not doing that. And so then they tried to like revert to everything. You guys are just beautiful young ladies. You shouldn't be doing drugs and all this other shit. I'm like, after they dogged us out, threatening us, we're going to get the guard dogs in here. They're going to sniff out your room. And I'm just like, they can sniff out whatever they want, bro. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to find a damn thing. They weren't going to find anything. And so then like, we eventually, we got in trouble. So they snitched on us that we were smoking weed. And so I'm the only person who did my community service. Shout out to me being the only person doing community service. When we had a food fight, when I got a MIP, man, college was lit, okay? So a couple of days later, I'm in the residential advisor office, checking people in and stuff. The police come in there again, and I'm like, oh, shit. Mind you, I'm high again, whatever. So he's like, hey, what's up, Sydney? I was like, oh, damn, he know me by my first name, damn. And so he's like, I got a question for you. And I was like, yeah, what's up, He's like, so we're training a rookie, and we want some of the kids to come help us, like, train. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever, So we ended up training the rookie. It was so funny, and, like, he did really good, though. Like, it was pretty dope that we got to help train. And then they also, we ended up just, like, talking to the cops and asking them funny questions. They're like, we hate to have to come to the doors. Like, we don't really think, like, weed is bad, but we have to, like, obviously do our job. And we're just like, what do you guys do when you get the weed? Like, do you smoke it? We're just young and dumb college students. But they were like, nah, we definitely, we take it in, and we destroy it or whatever. I'm like, that's cool, So, yeah, the good old days. But, yeah, that is all the questions I have to answer from this person. Thanks for asking those great questions, and thanks for tuning in.